Buenos días, buenas tardes, y buenas noches. Bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. Jay Slater Case. Happy Sunday, May the 3rd. And it is indeed Mother's Day today, May the 3rd, the first Sunday of May in España, in Spain, hence the Spain shirt. And well, yes, celebrations for Mother's Day will happen later on. I did warn Jan of Jan's Views Live that for our conversation tonight, if I happen to have gone out to celebrate Mother's Day in Spain, yes, might be interesting, might not be totally sober for the live, and that combo with Jan's rants and my drunken monologue, it might actually be very entertaining. But it might be the standard fare. Let's see tonight. As far as I know, Jan is available for a live tonight, Sunday. Let's see what happens. Cap is on backwards because remember the rule is backwards cap and plain white background indicates a little bit of chat about certain members of this curious lot that I've called the accident group, the group that believe there could not be any foul play in the background to the Jay Slater case. There is no criminality that could explain anything that happened in the Jay Slater case. It must and only could be 100% pure accident. This, the accident group, I find a fascinating lot. And I have dug into some of the things said by Laurie for sure, and I do need to do a part two on Laurie, so you might get a double roasting today, or one today, one tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Spanish Mother's Day, maybe, a double roasting to celebrate is appropriate. We will see. But Laurie, part two, I want to put aside just for a second because I do want to talk a little bit about this oddity that goes by the name Melissa. Melissa hyphen O2G3Y. Yes, Melissa is the one I want to talk about today because Melissa popped up in that video I did when I tried to explain how this poor grieving mother, Shaz, who, if you haven't seen the video, you really need to see it. But Shaz suffered the loss of her son just before Christmas. I went through all that and I said, this is a grieving mother. And it's funny, I said, it is strange, it is peculiar that those in the accident group that keep repeating grieving mother, grieving mother, grieving mother about Debbie Duncan, when they have the chance to express their deep felt sympathies and to, I don't know, maybe comment on the grief of someone like Shaz, they actually attack her. I mean, the most horrendous attack came from Bumblebee saying you're probably making it all up. Whereas there are several people in the accident group that know Shaz is 100% real, that what happened is 100% real. So we do have this hate faction in the accident group when an actual grieving mother is right in front of them, talking to them. They really do not like that grieving mother at all. They attack the grieving mother. So I pointed all that out in the last video, but I do want to talk about Melissa, a very, very special case. No one knows in our group, if you like, no one knows who this Melissa person is. We don't actually know if Melissa is a person. Like I say, it is Melissa hyphen O2G3Y with a total of two subscribers, two, and Melissa's account dates from April the 2nd, 2026. It is barely 1 month old. Now, I am always very, very cautious when dealing with someone that has a 1 month old account because it tells me a number of things. It tells me it is very likely that it could be a sock account, it is a fake account, it is someone else that's created that account. It doesn't seem likely to me that Melissa O2G3Y has been following the Jay Slater case and has been engaged in debate and has been expressing deep felt emotions about this case since 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago, when it all happened. When I see this 1 month old account, I am very suspicious what is really going on here. But what makes Melissa unique is Melissa claims to be, whoever she is, on her deathbed. She claims that her time is nigh. And it also seems, this is the bit that I struggle with, it also seems that everyone in the world that sees this 1 month old account and the name Melissa should automatically and necessarily be hand-wringing and praying and giving blessings to this Melissa in the assumption that Melissa is real, Melissa is speaking the truth, and Melissa is no fake. Well, my problem with that is my world doesn't work like that. I am very skeptical of such phenomena simply because it doesn't add up. I could be entirely wrong. Melissa could be a real person called Melissa. Melissa could be the person she claims. She claims to have been an advocate, a follower of mine, and then I don't know what happened. Melissa saw the light that I was bogus, jumped ship to the accident group, having realized not only that I was bogus, but all of the arguments of the foul play group were also bogus. So Melissa 180 suddenly went the other side, suddenly befriended the likes of former enemies like Jane Gobshite, and all of a sudden became this, I'm on my deathbed, but I am going to dish it out as much as I can to Duncan and the foul play group. I'm just saying most people on their deathbed don't actually preoccupy themselves with such matters. But 1 month old account Melissa 02G3Y is that person, we are led to believe. So let us go and have a look at some of the words of this so-called Melissa person, and I will deal with what Melissa says. My big beef with Melissa is not that I think she's fake, although I do, and many others also agree with me that she's fake. That's not my big beef. There's plenty of fake people out there writing God knows what. My big beef with Melissa is she regularly tells lies, and specifically about me, about things I've said. And that doesn't sit well with me. So call me heartless, but whether you're in the, I don't know, in fantastic health and living happily and well, or whether you're on your deathbed, if you're going to lie about me, I have the same reaction to you. I call you out. It doesn't matter what point of your time on this planet you've reached. Lie about me, and I automatically react. That is my beef with Melissa. She lies. She knows she lies, but she thinks that somehow claiming she's about to pop her clogs makes us all feel that it's all okay. That's not how it works for me, Melissa. Nice try, but you picked the wrong one if you think I'm going to give you a pass. I won't. But let's have a look at what Melissa actually says, because it's Melissa's words. I nearly said her words. Melissa could be a guy, I don't know. It's the words that we need to pay attention to. And I mean, I could pick any kind of comment from Melissa to show you what kind of charlatan, hypocrite, and lying hound Melissa is. But let's just limit ourselves for this video to what Melissa said in response to poor Shaz, the real grieving mother. On Lord Lugworm's latest post, if you haven't seen it, please check out what it says. Melissa says to Shaz, I did put my condolences up previously, reference your son. Now, you can tell Melissa is not very well educated from the way she writes that first sentence. You would have thought that Melissa, if she is offering condolences, would have taken the time to make sure it's worded correctly. But again, she says, I did put my condolences up previously reference your son. Does this sound a little bit Luggy-esque? Does this sound a little bit accident group, Baz, all of those very low-level thinker type writings? I did put my condolences up previously, reference your son. Okay, Melissa, try in reference to your son. I convey them again. As a mother, with a capital M, yeah, as a mother, not just ordinary mother, as a mother, capital M, I cannot imagine losing a child, and my heart truly breaks for you, with a little heart, broken heart emoji. All right, so far so good. Melissa O2G3Y, 1 month old account, continues. I am not getting involved in whatever this it. Okay, I think you mean this is. I am not getting involved in whatever this is. Word of warning, I can imagine you're hurting, in significant pain, and I can't even begin to understand the rest. All right, I don't see that as a warning, to be honest. Word of warning. What is Melissa warning about? I can imagine you're hurting. You're spelled incorrectly. In significant pain, and I can't even begin to understand the rest. Okay. Next paragraph. Please do not align yourself with Duncan. So hang on a second. I'm not getting involved in whatever this is, but it seems like Melissa now wants to get involved with whatever this is. Please do not align yourself with Duncan. Why doesn't Melissa at that point just say, I wish you all the best. Goodbye. No. She does want to get involved. Please do not align yourself with Duncan. I was and have seen exactly who he is. Well, when was this, Melissa? Melissa O2G3Y, with a 1 month old account. When were you aligned with me, to me? Not in the last month have you ever said anything that has been aligned with what I've said. So the question, Melissa, is with your 1 month old account, when were you aligned with me? If you were aligned with me under another account, what happened to your old account? Why have you switched? Why have you got a new account? Who were you? What was your real name when you were aligned with me? Can we have, Melissa, just a brief history of all your identities online when you claim to have been aligned with me, when you claim to have fallen out with me, when you claim to have joined the accident group, and now? Because I've got a feeling that someone called Melissa O2G3Y ain't being straight with us when she says I have a history and I was aligned with Duncan, but despite my 1 month old account, I'm now claiming not to be. Melissa says, I have a terminal diagnosis. So far, I'm faring okay. Touch wood and a lot of prayers. Okay, this is where I'm going to come across to some as very heartless, but this is the reality of life and death. When Melissa says that she has a terminal diagnosis, guess what, Melissa? Everyone on this planet has a terminal diagnosis. Every single one of us. You're not unique. You're not unusual. You are 100% in line with the 8 billion other people on the planet. We all are born. We all live and we all die. Your terminal diagnosis is what we all have. Now, if you want to tell us when you are expected to leave this world, go ahead. But the point is, Melissa, just saying you have a terminal diagnosis and therefore you're like everyone else on this planet doesn't really make a whole lot of difference to me. I too, you don't know, Melissa. I too might be in exactly the same boat. I might leave before you. I see nothing from your 1 month old account that indicates that you are in any worse of a position than me. I see nothing that indicates you're a real person. That is why I treat you with such disdain. When I see something that makes sense, I'll say it. But someone that says, I have a terminal diagnosis, so far I'm faring okay. Oh, yes, you are faring okay, Melissa O2G3Y with the 1 month old account. You're faring very well. Hour after hour, day after day, you can spit out vile venom, lies, toxicity, whatever you like. You do your little hands together icon. You do your little blessings word. You do your little broken heart. But it doesn't convince me. But I'll tell you in just a second what does convince me. You carry on in this message to Shaz. You say, that specimen, I guess that means yours truly, has wished me dead on several occasions. No, I haven't. What I have said, Melissa, on several occasions is that I don't care whether you are alive or dead or somewhere in between. I really don't care. Specifically, Melissa, because Melissa O2G3Y, you are not a real person to me. And even if you were a real person to me, even if I had seen your face, heard your voice, had a conversation with someone that knew you well, even if I had seen that, given the lies you told about me, I still wouldn't be that bothered whether the population of the planet went down from 8 billion to -1 because you happened to pass away. Honestly, it wouldn't bother me. That's just how I am. Now, if you want to be surrounded by a load of fake friends wringing their hands saying, oh, Melissa, your time is nigh, woe is me, go ahead. But the truth is, Melissa, they don't care that much about you either. It's just what they say. I'll repeat. I have no wishes for you apart from the fact I wish you would tell the truth. That's all I wish. Whether you live or die is not a big deal to me. That you tell the truth while you're alive is a big deal to me. And here comes the lie. Melissa says, knowing full well, talking about me, knowing full well I have a husband, children, and grandkids. I don't, Melissa. I know nothing about you. I don't know that you exist. I doubt you exist. Your 1 month old account tells me you probably aren't a real human being. So I certainly don't know that you have a husband. I certainly don't know you have children. And I certainly don't know you have grandkids. So why you choose to lie about what you say I know, I don't know. But it's this fabrication, it's making stuff up that makes me think you can't be for real. Why would you do this if you are a real person? What would convince me, or it would go some way to convincing me, Melissa, is if we actually did hear your voice, if we did see your face. Why don't you do that? Why don't you make an appeal to those who are doubters and say, this is who I am? It would be good, wouldn't it? Well, you don't seem to want to do that. You say that I include you in videos, yeah, and I claim that I want to speak. No, I don't. I don't claim that I want to speak to you, Melissa. I claim that I want you to speak to me. I am more than happy, Melissa, to set up a Zoom call where I say nothing. I don't speak a word. I say, Melissa, the floor is yours. You can say whatever you like about me. You can say whatever you like about the J. Slater case. You can say whatever you like about you. You can say whatever you like. I just press record. You speak. We end the recording. The Zoom call is over and I put it out there. So Melissa, no, stop saying what isn't true. I don't claim that I want to speak to you. I claim that I want you to speak or even to speak to me. If you want to engage in a conversation, that's fine. But if you just want to put out there your views and I say nothing, that is fine. All we need is a thumbs up. But you say absolutely not. Absolutely not, you say. All right. You want to remain the Melissa O2G3Y 1 month old account and have all the doubters question you. That's what you prefer. Got it, Melissa. Absolutely not. You say, its Sunday partner calls me a troll. Jan does call you a troll, and Jan is right. Questions my beliefs. Yes, we all question your beliefs, Melissa, and we are right to question your beliefs. And calls me evil. Yes, Jan calls you evil. I call you evil. Anyone that has any notion of people like you that fabricate lies, nonsense, and total disinformation about me calls you evil. I can't think of any other reason why you would do that. Everyone says and does things in temper, correct. Everyone has their battles, correct. Please believe that man is a very sick, twisted soul, and he does not give 2/5 of SFA towards you or your family. Let's go through this. Please believe that man is very sick. I disagree. I think I'm in very good health for my age. Twisted soul. I don't think so. I think I'm brutally honest, Melissa. Brutally honest. And I think that's what bothers you. There's no twisted soul. It's just if you're going to lie about me, I will be brutally honest back to you. And he does not give 2/5 of sweet FA. I think SFA is sweet FA. He does not give 2/5 of sweet FA towards you or your family. This is a curious phrase. Where does that come from, Melissa? 2/5. It's a strange quantity. If you want to quantify it, Melissa, I would say towards Shaz. I don't know Shaz. I don't know Shaz. I can't say Shaz is someone close to me or a loved one. So I can't say I give 5/5 of my time and attention to Shaz. I know her story through other people that do know her very well. I've heard Shaz's voice on a live. I've seen Shaz's picture. I know Shaz exists, as opposed to you, Melissa, where I have my doubts. And I do feel very, very sorry by the way Shaz has been treated by the accident group, by Luggy in particular, by Bumblebee in particular. So if you're going to quantify it, I would say probably in the big picture here, Melissa, I probably give 3 to 4/5. If we're going to split it up into fives, units of 5, I probably do give 3 to 4/5 towards Shaz. I give you 0, of course, and I think that's the problem for you here. You just don't want to be the only person on 0. But no, Shaz, yeah, I give 3 to 4/5. I think that would be normal. But where does this 2/5 come from? To me, it sounds like you're being very generous. If someone went round saying, well, I give 40% of my time and attention to you, I would feel honored. I'd say, God, that's a lot. 2/5 is quite a lot, Melissa. I'm taking that as praise. If you say that Duncan doesn't give 2/5, that means, I'm pretty much up close to 2/5. I think that's kind of generous. But I don't know. It's a strange phrase, Melissa. Are you an English speaker, Melissa? Where are you from? Once again, Shaz, sincere condolences for the loss of your son. Praying hands and heart. Are we convinced by this Melissa, checks notes, O2G3Y? Or do we think this is yet another accident group phony? What do we think? I'm not bothered either way. I'm bothered that someone apparently on their deathbed wants to lie about me. That does bother me. Because if there is a heaven and a hell, I would hate, and this is sincere, I would hate for Melissa to go to hell just because she made up a few lies about me towards the end of her life. That wouldn't be right. I would prefer that Melissa go to heaven and correct the record and say, yeah, Duncan, I have said some things about you that are fabrications. That's what I want. But failing that, Melissa, checks notes, O2G3Y, if you do want to establish yourself as a real person and not some make-believe bot or fake account 1 month old, it is very simple. You do have a YouTube channel. You can turn on your camera. You can speak. You can address these issues. The fact that you choose not to tells me maybe you ain't a real Melissa. Maybe when we heard your voice or saw your face, the game would be up, Melissa. The game would be up. Let's leave it there. The Sunday Roast, part 1, Melissa, is over, but let's see where this leads us. Petition, Jay's All Petition closes tomorrow. Last time I checked, it had a significant boost, up to 18,000. In the next 24 hours, it might go up to 19,000. Is it going to hit 20? Is it going to hit 20? I don't think so. But we will see. As I say, if Chris Pennington's hackers that he employs every year at the Lisbon Internet Summit. If they can do their work, it may get above 20,000, maybe. Hasta luego. Hasta más tarde. Once again, all mothers with any connection to Spain whatsoever, happy Mother's Day, Spanish style. Adios.